Hey YouTube, this is TCA Gaming. So this video I'm going to show you my Expedition and my Aquapolis reverse holo returns. These should complete out the sets that I have, not in PSA 10, but they should complete out my sets. I'm not sure if anyone has a complete full PSA 10 set. I'm sure Gem Met Pokemon is knocking on the door. But this is actually the first one in the Expedition return that I have. So I guess numbers 1 through 54 were split up into a different order, or I didn't submit them yet. The only thing I don't like about this very first one here, because I mean this Mew is great. I mean it's a mint 9, it's beautiful artwork. It looks like freaking PSA, some junk in there, but other than that, it looks like a great card. So I'm gonna put it right up here on the front. And then this one, my second card on this PSA order. It's probably the most expensive card I have in the entire submission after grading. It's a Gem Mint 10. I'm not sure what that goes for as a Gem Mint 10, but I would estimate at least $100, maybe even more. And if not, then I might be going to buy myself one. So next up we have the Ninetales at a 9. Pikachu, this is one of my favorite cards just because there's so many different artworks for it. And they got the 9. Pidgeot 9. A lot of these I even pulled from the pack myself. I remember I was looking on Craigslist and I found someone who was selling Expedition booster packs for $1 each. There's a nice Gem Mint 10. So I ended up buying all of them, and I thought, you know, for $1 a piece, you know, it's worth opening. And this was back when, you know, you could still find old boxes for under $100. So I mean, it wasn't like I ripped them off or something crazy. And so I opened up the packs. It was, I think it was 22 or 23 total packs, and I ended up pulling a lot of cool holos. I think I pulled a Ninetales, a Skarmory, a couple Venusaur, or one of the Venusaurs, and one of the Blastoise. I don't remember pulling the Charizard. I did pull a rare Charizard, the non-holo version of it. Not sure why I put Vileplume there in the background. That wasn't exactly the best return. There's a Chansey. We'll replace that Vileplume with a PSA 10 Chansey. Stack number 1 down. And then so at the end of this video, if we're not running super long, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up 4 Team Up booster packs. Pulled the Gem Mint 10 there on the Charmeleon. Really nice one. Hate to cover up that Mewtwo. Then we got Crocodile. Got a PSA 10 on the Dragonair, another really good grade. Electabuzz. Flaffy. Got the Gloom. And Graveler. Another Haunter. 10 on the Hitmonlee. I'm just going to keep passing through on that one. It's a nice card, but I think at the 10 on it would have been a. It's not as good as any of these other cards here in the background. That one got a 6. Not really sure why. Maybe something on the front. And it looks really clean, doesn't it? Well, I don't know why that one got the 6. Maybe they flipped a 9 upside down. But got plenty of 9s, as you can see. I think in the past when I've submitted Expedition stuff, they've in general done a little bit better on the Gem Mint 10s. So here's another nice grade. We got the Wartortle, which pulled a 10. Definitely happy with getting that on the Wartortle and the Charmeleon. And you saw before the Ivysaur pulled the 9. Got Bulbasaur. Oh, it looks like I actually skipped a card. I skipped the Quilava. Put that back in the stack where it's supposed to go. And there's the Bulbasaur Mint 9. We put this stack in the box before it gets too high and then falls over. Do enough of that already. Here's the other Bulbasaur Mint 9. Got the Caterpie. And there's also 2 Charmanders too. One of them pulled a 10. I'm very happy with that. And then there's 2 Chikoritas. I think there's 2 of each of the Gen 1 and Gen 2 starters in Expedition. Fairy. Corsola. Those 8s kind of hurt, especially on these reverse holos. But I mean, you know, if I don't have it, I guess it's a good placeholder. And to me, it's kind of nice to have a complete Mint 9 graded set rather than a raw set. because at least I know for sure that both my opinion and PSA's opinion align in that it's a mint set. Other than that crazy Machoke, which was a 6. Got Ekans. Another really nice artwork, this Ghastly. Many of you know that you can get a sample Ghastly. Same thing with the Pichu. The Pichu had a sample card. Hapip had a sample card. Got Houndour. So did Coughing. Then there was Machop, Machoke, Machamp, Pikachu, Chansey. I'm not forgetting any of them. That might be all 10 of them. And there's Magikarp. Would have liked to got a 10 on the Magikarp. Fan favorite. Meowth. Oddish. Overall, I'm much more pleased with this part of the submission than the other half. Pikachu would have been a really nice 10. I thought it had a decent shot. Looks like maybe right there. That little white dot is probably what held it back. And then we got us a Poliwag. Continuing on to Ponyta. Got Quillfish, Rattata, got Shelter, Spearow. Got 2 Squirtles coming up, see if either one of them got a 10, which neither one of them did. I like that one a little better than I like this one. Oh, Tauros is out of sorts. Should have been in front of that Totodile. Got 2 Mint 9s right there. Probably like that artwork better on the Totodile. Got Vulpix with the 8. Bill's Maintenance, Copycat, Energy Removal 2. Most of these 9s I would probably put in the $20 to $30 range, maybe even a little less if a lot have been graded. Some of them maybe more, but it's kind of weird with PSA. The more popular a card is, the more likely it is to have been graded. So there's a higher chance that someone's going to be out there on the market selling. It used to be the case that people only graded for their personal collection, so a lot of the stuff, even though it was popular, it wasn't on the market. So if you were looking for a Gem Mint 10 first edition Rattata from base set, you couldn't find one. So at one point that was like a $100 card. I remember even when energies were fetching $50 in auction, and now you can regularly find a lot of the first edition commons and even sometimes the uncommons in Gem Mint 10 condition, PSA graded, and you're only going to have to pay $30, maybe even less, 25. And it's crazy to think about that something from the very first edition that you couldn't even get in part of the country can be graded, Gem Mint 10 condition 20 years later, and you still only have to pay a little bit more than the submission cost itself. There's a 10. The Switch, I really like the Switch from this set, but it did not get the 10. Would have liked to have that. That's a tough card to replace. I think it's like $20, $30 alone, just ungraded. So that's it for the Expedition. Now we're going to move on to Aquapolis. Now at the Aquapolis, I actually start off with number 1, but I don't go all the way through the end. So Ampharos pulled the 9. Arcanine, now that's a nice one. I'm going to just set it in the background. I hate to cover up Gem Mint 10s with a Mint 9, but that's one of the nicer cards from the set. Got Azumarill, or Azumarill, Blossom, got some Blissey. Donphan pulled the 8. Electrode, Elekid, got the Entei. I was getting the 10 and 9 confused there for a second. Espeon, I would have liked to got a 10 on that one, but it pulled the 8. Next up, Executor, got the other Executor, Houndoom. Here's the other Houndoom. Let's put those side by side. I don't know, I like the fire coming out of his mouth there, but I like the way this one's off in the distance on the rock. Hypno, so far no 10s. I've had a lot of 9s and at least 1 8, maybe 2. There's another 8. Then Kingdra also with the 9. So I'm going to start its box off. And we've got Lantern. I think there's 2 of them. One got the 8, one got the 9. Probably see I like this artwork a little better. Magneton, Muck, Nidoking, Ninetales, Artillery, pulled the 7. Yeah, I do see some few more dots, but again, I think they were pretty tough on that. Got Parasect, Porygon 2, another 7. Try to flash it good. Man, I tell you, when I first got in the game, a 7 was really rough. If you find an old cert, especially with like this starts with a 1 or a 2 and it's a 7, and it'd probably come back as like a 4 or 5 from PSA now. I know Gary, the King Pokemon, the guy with the really big Pokemon collection, he's talked about how in the very, very beginning of PSA, they were super strict about condition. But I'll tell you, when I got in the game probably about 2008, 2009. When I was doing PSA stuff then, it was definitely not that strict. You could send in cards. I remember sending in an Arrow War Turtle, and I was hoping that it come back as an 8. 7 or an 8, and it got to 10. It was probably the weakest 10 I've ever seen. But I kept it for the longest time just because I wanted an Arrow War Turtle, and then someone ended up trading me for it. Tyranitar. I don't think we've had a gem at 10 yet. There's Umbreon. Victory Bell. Got the Vileplume and Zapdos. Bellsprout, Dodrio, lots of 8s, Flaffy, Furette, and they're just getting worse. Gloom with the 7. Trying to show these 7s so you guys can see it. Maybe I should show y'all an old 7, just for comparison. And then with the Golduck, there was a 50A and a 50B. Both of which have a 9. Back then, the A and the B cards, they were identical other than the little thing in the very bottom that said 50A, 50B. I believe there was 5 different cards within the set that had the A and B variant. I know there was a Porygon, I think there was a Drowsy, maybe a Mr. Mime, and something else. And I may be off on that, but I think it was 4. Or I think it was 5, not 4. Marowak. Nidorino. Pupitar. Scyther. Seadra. There's another 8 on the Seeking. Skiploom. Not a lot of Aquapolis going there in the background. I should have stuck that Pikachu back there. It would have been nice to look at for a little bit. Voltorb and Weeping Bell. I just got in my extra stock of these Perfect Fit sleeves. I was almost out. I was surprised at how many of you have wanted to have the Perfect Fit sleeves. I started putting the links down in my description for them, and they started selling like crazy. I sold like 1,500 of those sleeves just through that link. But I guess I'm more expensive per sleeve than Perfect Fit themselves. I mean, they're the ones who have them made. But that's because I pretty much pay really close to the full price for them. And then I have to pay my eBay fees and shipping on top of that and still make a little bit of money. But I guess they sell because I do offer something a little different. I offer to sell them in groups of 10, and that would have been nice, a PSA 10. So that allows me to send untracked, especially here in the US, but also internationally if you want to buy small quantities of PSA sleeves, because not everyone needs 50 or 75 PSA sleeves. A lot of people just collect 5 or 10 cards, and then they want to be able to sleeve those up correctly. We have one more stack for the Aquapolis, and then I will open up 4 team-up booster packs here at the end. So for those of you who watched from the very beginning and hung in the whole time, check it out. We got a Gem at 10 for Aquapolis. That's the only one, I think. But for those of you who hung in there, you want to see some pack openings, I congratulate you. I know this is a lot of just going through reverse holos, but some of you really dig this old artwork. I personally like the e-reader series. Expedition for me is really nice. I think it's much more affordable than Aquapolis or Skyridge. Skyridge is really everyone's favorite, but it's so expensive, so the price reflects that. I like Aquapolis because it has crystals, but actually I think I like Expedition more than I like Aquapolis. Alright, so, it looks like we have 5 team-up packs. Now last time we pulled a Holo and 2 GXs, so we may have used up all our luck on these team-up booster packs. You can see right there, there's a green code, so we know that that's probably not going to be a Holo. Should just be some kind of rare, but maybe we'll pull something neat out of it. You never know. We'll start off with a Fire Energy, Lavender Town, a War Turtle, Heliolisk, Pidgey, Bronzor, Puchina, Nidoran, Pancham, got a Reverse Holo, Tauros, and Kabutops. I think this is being used in some decks. I've sold a lot of them. So we do have us a code. There's for whoever. Hopefully whoever took the first code won't take the second one as well. Been trying to cover up that scanner so people don't just go through and scan all of them. Got another Bronzor and Puchina and a Pancham. Verse Holo Alolan Muck. I really like that one, the way it's got the different colors in there. And then we've got us a rare Pinsir. Pack number 3. Another green code. So there's that. Man, I've been hoping for a full art because almost all the full arts out of this entire set are really cool. I heard that they were going out of print. Let's see how long that lasts. Oh man, we got some Reverse Holo Blastoise. Check that out. So if any of you have been wondering what this is, that's where I pinched myself at the Hartford Regionals during cleanup. It's just taking a while to heal. Then we've got us a rare Bronzong. That Blastoise is definitely going in the background. I think the only Reverse Holo that could have beat that out was the Charizard. Maybe we'll pull one. It's got a Fairy Energy, got a Hitmonlee, Magikarp, another Puchina, Judge Whistle, and then a second Bronzong. So we have one pack left, and our last hope to have a GX or a Holo. Ooh, so it looks like we're going to have at least a Holo. There's that code. I'm trying to make sure I've got my finger over at least one of those dots. Going to start off with a Water Energy, Pupitar, Kakuna, a Nidorino, a Grimer, Ponyta, Mareep, Charmander, Reverse Holo Hitmonchan, and a Lycanroc GX. Man, I was hoping for that full art, but so glad we at least pulled a GX out of the packs. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up. Maybe leave a comment about what you'd like to see in the future for more videos I show on my channel. And anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys, and thanks for letting me live out my hobby.